before Moses died. We can consider Deuteronomy as Moses' dying declaration. Right? This is what it says. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 25. This day I will begin to put the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the nation under the sun. They shall hear reports of you, and they shall tremble. They shall hear these reports, and they shall be in anguish because of you. Right? So remember, we are discussing. They know who you are, and they are afraid of you. Since they went and they brought the Israelites over to the New World, your foreparents and my foreparents, since they brought us over to the New World, and they had control of us, they have enslaved us. But my people, they have always been afraid of us. No matter what was the ratio of Caucasians to Israelites, they always complained that the slave community is far too big. In England, in France, wherever they had Israelites as slaves, even though in most cases 9 times larger than the Israelite population, they still complained that our population was far too big. In America, where the population was 9 times larger than the Israelite population, they had a complaint that the slave population, which was 10 times smaller than the Caucasian population in America, they complained that the Israelite community was far too large. They were 10 times larger than us. In England, in France, in Spain, they were always 10 and 15 times larger than us. But yet they complain that our numbers, our small numbers, was far too large because they were afraid of us. So the question we must ask here is why, even though they were 10 times larger than us in population, even though they outnumbered us by far, why were they concerned that the Israelite population was always too large? King Leopold II controlled the entire Congo with just a few men, a few Belgian men. Right? He never complained. He never complained that the Africans in the Congo, the numbers were too large for him to control. The British controlled South Africa. They implemented an apartheid system. But the British never complained that although the South Africans were 10 times the number of the British, they never complained that the Africans population was too large. They never complained. The British and the French, when there were small numbers in many parts of Africa, they controlled those Africans, communities, countries, and they never complained that although the African population was 10 times the Caucasian population, they never complained that the African population was too large. They went to India, they went to China, they went to Japan, they conquered the whole Orient, and they have very small armies in these places where the native population at times were 20 times the population of the Caucasians, and the Caucasians never complained. But here we see, in the Caribbean, they always complain that the slave population was getting too big. In England, where there were 10 times the number of the African slave, they complain that the African community, which was really Israelites, were far too large. In America, the Caucasian population was always at least 8 times that of the black population, of the Israelite population. And the Caucasians always complain that the population of the blacks, the Israelites, were far too large. The question we have to ask, why they were not concerned about the Africans? Why they were not concerned about the Congolese? Why they were not concerned about the South African that were 10 times larger than the white population in those places? Why they weren't concerned that the Indian population were even 15 times that of the white population in India? Why weren't they concerned? People, it is because they know who we are and they are afraid of us. They know who we are and they are afraid of us. Listen to me. When the Most High chose Abraham to be the father of a mighty nation, a nation who is going to represent the Most High, the Most High put a blessing upon Abraham and upon all of Abraham's seed, a blessing that even if the Most High want to take it away, he cannot take it away, because he put a permanent blessing on the people that he have chosen, the seeds of Abraham, the seeds of Isaac, and the seed of Jacob. People, they know who we are and they are afraid of us. Even if they have taken away all the knowledge of who we are, even if they have taken away our language, our knowledge of our God, our knowledge of ourselves, they still know who we are, because the Most High had made a covenant with Abraham. He renewed that covenant with Isaac, and he renewed that covenant with Jacob, that we are going to be his people, his chosen people, and he will never reverse that.